Hello, hello. Damien Nightwing, the Widowmaker 97, your friend on Twitter, your Canadian porn fan who also likes many other things. DC, Game of Thrones, Jack Bauer, LA Law, Bruce Willis, back in the day, Harrison Ford, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. DC over Marvel, yada yada yada. This is just a series of videos I've always wanted to do, but I figured it'd be better if I did it under this versus my other YouTube, or, because, it's a PC world and blah, 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 and, So, we're into, this is video 3 of, kind of like my history of getting into porn, kind of as a porn fan, obviously. If I was ever in porn, I would be a director. I wouldn't be talent, because I know I probably couldn't perform. Unlike most men on Twitter who are delusional and idiots, they there's a reason you only see 20 guys in porn. Like, figure it out. Not everyone can do that. I don't know why so many people who watch porn, especially men are stupid. But, like, why can't they figure it out? I knew that a long time ago. So, I always figured I'd be a director, or I'd be like an accountant. Or I'd come up with stories. I'd be a story writer and come up with scenarios. Brandy Love needs money, and, Kendra Lust, Mercedes Carrera is the college professor and she's being blackmailed. Stuff like that. This guy would be good at that, I think. Brazzers, hit me up. Let's make 2019, let's make some better scenes. I mean, supposedly your headquarters is in Montreal. I'm in Alberta. It's Canada. Let's figure it out. Anyway, so when I became legal age, so before I became legal age, I also had a friend, because I'm going into my history of how I interacted with adult material as a kid and stuff. So I had a friend who had satellite in junior high, and he would record movies. Predator, RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, The Untouchables, a whole bunch of movies around 1987, 1988. You would record them on VHS, and he would sell them at school. Because this satellite you could get movies before home video, back in the dark ages. Anyway, well, they had satellite, they had American satellite. He also had the Spice Network. He had pornography channels, adult porn channels. So if you paid him more money, he would record an adult video on the same video that had RoboCop or Lethal Weapon, but it would be after those movies. So if you ever watch those movies with your family or brothers and sisters, you'd have to always, there's only 2 movies on this, then it's over, on a 6-hour VHS tape or whatever. Anyway, because of him, I found out who Ginger Lynn was, who Amber Lynn was, who Barbara Dare was, who Erica Boyer was, who who was a whole new world. I'm like, who are these hot, beautiful women? Holy cow. And then I always watched a lot of Entertainment Tonight in the late 80s. And Tracy Lords was a big deal in the mid to late 80s. I watched shows like Hard Copy and A Current Affair. Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s, late 30s. Yeah, no one ever believes how old I am anyway. But, so to date myself, that's what I grew up on. And there were always lots of pornography stories, but every couple of weeks there would be something about Tracy Lords or Ginger Lynn or them Marilyn Chambers and Behind the Green Door, the sequel, and a whole bunch of... So you would find stuff. You would find things to help get you into... find out about pornography in the adult film industry. And then every once in a while, CBS show, Nightline, ABC Nightline, CBS would do a show 60 Minutes, but not 60 Minutes. And you would just be exposed to that every once in a while. And I always paid attention to that whenever they interviewed women that were in porn or were trying to cross over, like Ginger Lynn was trying to do. So anyway, that's how I learned about these women who became icons of the porn industry, of the adult film industry, was because VHS tapes with RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, and then Trashy Lady. Or I'd watch The Untouchables, and then it'd be Sex Asylum 2. Or, Dragnet, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then Blame It on Ginger. That's how I found porn. That's how I knew as a young kid. And then when I would get my hands sometimes on, mysterious magazines like Penthouse or Cherry or Swank, you would connect these names with, and you would see like, oh, she's a porn star and she makes films and she's promoting this movie, and you would see the title and you'd write it down and be like, oh, maybe one day I'll get to see that movie. And then eventually I was learning enough to like request. I would request from my friend who was recording off satellite. I'd be like, hey, find me some Ginger Lynn movies, or hey, find me some Angela Barron movies, or hey, find me this woman, her name's Christy Canyon. Look for Christy Canyon movies, or Nina Hartley. And that's how in my day and age, that's how I found porn. That's how I found adult material as a kid, and that's how I learned about sexuality and naughty things and adult material and the birds and the bees in a lot of ways. And that really helped me when I got to that situation in real life, because I kind of knew what the stuff looked like, right? For me, porn has always been something I was always beneficial, always something I used productively, positively. I've never had any issues with it. And a lot of my friends for a long time, they would refer to me as the porn king. That's one of my many nicknames, because I have a crazy amount of porn. I'm a collector. I've collected it for years. Magazines, VHS, DVDs, a few random Blu-rays, yada, yada, yada. Now, you download porn on your computer, flash drives, blah, blah, blah. I've just always enjoyed it. I mean, yes, I'm a passionate, horny man. And I find as the older I get, the more I'm more turned on and horny than I've ever been in my life, which is crazy because I've always been a pretty horny guy. Some of my ex-girlfriends can testify to that. So that's just how I got into it, especially in that early age where it was hard to come by. It's a different time now. I couldn't imagine being a kid, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid in this day and age. No way, man. No way. With the amount of stuff you can find, that's crazy. And that's parenting. That's a whole other issue. And like I said, my mom always taught me respect women, honor women. Women have different jobs. Sex isn't something to fear. Sex is a beautiful thing. Sometimes sex is a tool women use for money, for other reasons. Same with men. That's why strippers exist. That's why escorts exist. That's why these things exist. And my dad, when he was around in the picture, which wasn't often, always had another perspective too, because, he had issues. He had history with, not being loyal to my mom. And he would frequent strip bars and was in a world where gambling and things not above board were taking place often, especially in the late 80s and early 90s. So there was a different perspective to get that. But I always was of the I always honored and respected women who made porn, adult films. When I went to strippers, I was always like, thank you, you're naked, I'm happy, here's money, thank you. I've always been of that mindset where if a woman is naked in your bed, in your house, however she gets there, that's amazing. That's a good thing. Respect it, honor it, live it. Never, never take it for granted and be happy. Because women are the gateway to so much awesomeness. And it's not just their bodies and the pleasure, mutual, but it's just women inspire men to do great things. Women inspire men to be better, to reach and aim higher for success and goals and things of that nature. And that's why I have such a high regard for porn stars, especially on Twitter. I love porn on Twitter. I love supporting it. I keep all my account sensitive material warnings and everything because I want to follow the Twitter rules and promote and honor the women who make porn. Anyway, this is video 3, keeping them under 10 minutes. Tell a friend, subscribe, like it, comment. Cheers.